and it's Nerding Out with Sasquatch. Hey, Sass.
Hey, buddy, what's up?
Welcome back. I've been talking so much about your advice on all the podcasts, just because of every last time you were here, we were talking about point defense and all that stuff, which has really changed my game on Britney Spears especially. And so welcome back. So I refer to Sasquatch all the time as Sass on the podcast, in case anybody is wondering. So how are you doing, man?
I'm good. Kind of rainy down here, but
yeah, it's storming.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, but you get over it.
Yeah, it was storming pretty bad here yesterday too, but it's been a beautiful day. Sat on the deck and clashed and edited. It was wonderful.
There you go.
So what's new? What's new in the Sasquatch? You're a TH9.
Still a TH9. I think I've got probably 40 lava walls, the rest of which are Legos.
Nice. Where your heroes at?
My queen is 21, the king is 20.
Wow. Okay.
So my queen can drink and my king can only sit outside the bar and watch.
At least they're out of their teens, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And are you farming a lot with Sasquatch?
No, I don't farm a whole lot with Sasquatch. I mean, I did. I was just on there tonight, since I was going to be talking to you anyway. So I'm doing the healer queen, deal that's going around right now. Dude, it works out great.
Yeah, what is that? Now, I've talked about it with somebody. It's been a long week of recording. I mean, I think this is my 7th hour probably with the Twitch stream.
Yeah.
So it kind of blurs together. But so that's how many? What's the composition on that?
The composition, you bring about 10 healers, plus or minus 1 or 2 or whatever there. Really, you don't need any more than 10. And you're probably only going to use about 8 most of the time, unless you start losing them to air defense. But what you do is you take a handful of minions with you as well. I'm using like 35 minions, and I bring 5 wall breakers to try and help funnel the queen. But what you do is, you drop your minions on the sides where you want to go, and you want to kind of funnel your queen towards the dark elixir. You drop your queen, you drop about 6 or 7 healers right behind her, and you just let the queen do some work. And if you can funnel her right, I like to use the wall breakers, like I said, to try and help her get in there.
Are you just taking the DE, or are you getting a lot of the base?
Well, I can usually get about 50% with her, and sometimes if the town hall's in the way, on the way to the dark, then I get it. I usually come in from the side that doesn't have the sweeper, which is a new one since, I guess we did our last podcast, but
yeah,
coming from the opposite side so the wind isn't blowing your minions or the healers around.
Oh man, yeah.
And then you just funnel that queen straight in. By the time you're done with the raid, you're taking home 2,500 dark, and your queen is still there with full health.
Do you use any spells?
Only when I have to. Like if I've got a big king that's going up against her, or even a queen, for that matter, that locks onto her for a little bit. I might drop a heal or a rage to try and get her through it real quick.
Okay. So. Have you tried healing the healers?
Yeah, it works.
Okay, because I've thought about that. I've only taken in I was running it like 1 barrack full of healers, and then putting it on the giants, and she went around. But I don't know. I've just been doing that Jai Barch.
Yeah.
It's just been wrecking it with it. I love it.
It's a classic.
Yeah. And now that I have like max giants and max like barbs and archers and stuff, I love just watching to see how much damage it actually does. And it ruins it. I've ruined a lot of bases. And up against TH10s, I can take the dark elixir out of the center just because it's so overwhelmingly like all the barbs and archers with those multi-infernos, you can just get in there. I was okay, and I don't know where if this even was on a pod that I did this week, but it kind of had come up that like the queen, because since the update, and I know and Halligan explained it to me, like I didn't know about this aggro change since the last update.
Yeah.
Where the queen locks on and really, keeps on that one target, right?
Yeah, like she can have, unless something is attacking her, specifically, like if she's got a couple of her archer friends right next to her and, some barbs or skellies come up from the clan castle or whatever and start to attack those, like she won't turn.
And so
she won't turn. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's so stupid. It's the same way with the hogs right now too. Because at the end of a raid, say once you've wiped a Town Hall 9 base with all of your hogs, and your hogs, say you've got 6 or 7 hogs left, then they turn and they start whittling down a gold storage or an elixir storage, something that takes a little bit of time, and the enemy king is right there knocking on those hogs. They will not stop to get the king until the damn storage is down.
And that's why I think people were having problems with that hog attack.
Oh yeah, it's definitely ruined so many.
And I mean, I thought it was the air sweeper a little bit, like that it was the air sweeper was, more hit points in the base. But it always seemed to be a combination.
That helps that too.
Yeah. And it seemed to be a combination of like when the king was there, where the skellies were, and if it was by the air sweeper. And it just seemed to like, it was like we go into a war and all of a sudden, you're seeing like the plans just kind of crumble with those hogs.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at another 950 hit points that those hogs have got to get through, and they're only doing 105 damage per second. So you're at another 9 seconds for one hog to get through it.
Wow.
So,
like for me, I didn't really notice it, but I was doing better because of the AI change. So like people were saying like, the aggro stuff, and I'm like, okay, I didn't really pay much attention to it,
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, like going into, I started doing better in war. I think, anyways, like it seemed like the queen, like the queen kill, especially. I mean, that's got to help the golem attack, like the cold-blooded or whatever, right?
You have to be more deliberate with it now. You have to be a whole lot more funnel, a little more tunnel vision on what you need to get to, especially with the queen. So as long as your troops are going in the right spot, they're going to go in. But if you're off, that aggro circle is so much smaller now.
Yeah.
They just go for a walkabout.
Well, so even the attention of where she go, the circle is smaller, you think?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I noticed in your war attack tonight, and you went up against a Town Hall 10.
Yeah, I went up against 2 of them for the fun of it.
Well, yeah, and that was cool about this war. So we got matched after the Soaz war, and we can talk about the Soaz war a little bit.
Yeah.
But we got matched after the Soaz war, and we had almost double the TH10s. Mm-hmm. I think the rest, I'm not sure how the 8s went exactly. It was pretty close, like the number of 8s. But we just had, so our 9s had to go up against 10s pretty much. But they were not a great attacking clan. Mailman
no.
It was the funniest thing to watch him in that chat today. He's like, oh my God, did you see this king, the hero placement, this and that. And then some of the people were pretty decent attackers, or, we got 2-starred up top. But then so we won, like really won. And then we just started another match after that, and same type of thing.
It's the same thing. Yeah. The last war, we have 11 Town Hall 10s, and they had, where is it? 19.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So what was oh, sorry, go for it.
No. And it's the same thing this war coming up. And you really think that you're going to be overmatched. But I woke up the first morning, after about 6 hours of the war, and I look, and almost all of their top Town Hall 10, people have already attacked. So I knew already that we were going to win. So, we were still winning.
Yeah.
So.
And I think I looked at the score, and because I wanted to try that mass switch, and I tried a variation of it. I got a 2-star on the 10, but I was really hoping. I think you really have to commit to a mass switch. Like I think you have to, like Dr. Octagon did. he went in with like the 19 witches or whatever. I'd really like to try that attack, but I don't think he had a golem leading. No
golem. Wow.
And I think with that attack, you almost need to have your heroes act as the other two tanks. You do a golem,
right?
From what I've seen, like you do one golem, and it's really hard for me to do now because I'm loving the 5 golem.
Yeah,
I just love it. Or the 4.
Don't want to give up the troop space for witches.
I know. I was like I'm like, well, what do I take? Do I take out troop space with wizards or what? But so it's kind of fun to be able to see him do it. But so I tried a variation. Kind of cool. You can see some things. I'm kind of fascinated with it. I'm hoping we do well enough that I can try it out again this war. Maybe like a full on.
Just do it. Just go early and do it.
You think so?
Yeah.
Just brew it up.
Nobody's going to care.
That's true. I mean, because I think
you're Scotty 827.
Yeah. They're used to seeing the 0 star. No, but I think about this war. Oh, and the one thing about this war too is we have one. They have one TH8, and then the rest are 9s, underdeveloped. Like in the war matchup. So it's gonna pose a problem a little bit because then you've got the extra air defense for 8s, and we have like 5 8s, I think, 4 or 5 8s and a 7, and then a 5 just as like a placeholder. Who opted in just because. I always figure like it's probably better to opt in somebody really low that's not gonna.
You don't want to lose a high attack. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and that way you've got if they do end up matching lower and they don't attack. I mean, because they can't really do anything. Like Halligan was in Ellsworth yesterday. Shout out to the Clash Files. He was in there, and he had let me opt him in, and he took the level 2 balloons, and did an army and basically killed the CC with his account because it was I think a TH4. I mean, it was tiny, but it was pretty fun to watch. So what was different? So as a 9 going against a 10, what did you? Because you did pretty good.
I did okay. Yeah, I mean, my goal was to try to get into those infernos right away. So the second attack that I did, I tried to go in on the right side. It had a multi-target inferno, and then on the left side it had a single shot inferno. So I tried to take, both sides at the same time with different army compositions. So I tried to take the right side going in heavy against the multi, and I took, I think, 3 Pikas and a golem and my king.
Yeah.
And went in that side and got rid of their queen on that side, and then jumped into the core. And then on the left side, it was after I had cleaned up the clan castle kill. I had witches left over, had a couple extra ones dropped. I went and put my queen behind it and tried to send, the witches in for the single shot inferno from the left side.
Right. And you there was a point in that attack where it was just, the 2 Teslas just hurt your P.E.K.K.A.s.
Yeah.
And you had said, bring another jump maybe would have worked. That probably would have. But I mean, you smash it. So do you think is there any strategy for like hitting a 10 as a 9? Cause people are asking about that, in the chat, like, how would you do it? And I, as a 10, and it's hard for me to say what a 9 could do without a freeze.
Yeah. There's not much.
Yeah. I mean,
you really, as Jake would say, you just kind of got to sack up and go for it.
And just, and then rock in.
Yeah. And just go in and go for it. Go from one side. Try not to attack the whole base as its entirety, because you're probably not going to get a Town Hall 10 unless it's underdeveloped. Yeah. And just coming from the one side and have that goal of the Town Hall and just go for it. And, have a handful of troops left over for picking off some weak buildings around the outside after everything's kind of, the core of your army has gone through. Maybe you can pick up the last couple percentages, just a just in case type of thing.
And I'm really liking, I have drank the Kool-Aid. I'm luring most of the time, and bringing in just a few minions for the cleanup, because you can. And I saw this on a Clash with Ash video where, if you've got golems or they're going around, you can ambush a cannon to kind of help out. But even at the end, for that extra cleanup, you've got an air troop there. And I've been taking like 6, I think, or at least 5, because drop 1, make sure there's not a bomb, and then you can really pick some things off. And even after I've been doing I've been getting like the town hall and 50%, and then I've upped by bringing in a lot of cleanup troops, which I, with the amount of housing space that everything takes up, I've just been I've always kind of pushed the edge of the minimal amount of cleanup troops.
Right.
But if I go a little bit farther, I'm really seeing the benefit of that.
And you wind up sweeping around the outside of the building, outside the base, grabbing more percentages that way.
Yeah. And so it gets done. You get done with the battle, and I've been kind of just seeing how much extra percent I can pull above, the destruction type.
Instead of having one archer left and you're at 40%.
Yeah.
40% one star.
or even if I'm at 65%, it's fun to see how much extra I can take with those cleanup troops. Yeah. And it probably wouldn't have mattered much in my army composition in the first place.
Take away another wizard over here, or take away one witch, or
yeah. I wish the witch was not such a huge housing space. That would be a real. Coop said that he got word that there's going to be a sneak peek tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
So
that would be cool.
Yeah, because we know there's an update coming. There's been I saw Galadon and Chief Pat, and what they've all been doing right now, if anybody's seen them, is that they're doing what would you like to see, or what could be cool.
They're just filling airtime, Scotty. Just
you think so?
Time. Yeah, that's all they ever do. Tell me what your troop comp is that you'd want me to do, and all this other bullshit. Oh, but don't listen to it.
Well, no, but I mean, they're doing okay, what do people most want to see, and I'm wondering why they're doing it as a group right now. Yeah, because they're all in that inner circle, and Chief Pat was in Tokyo, I think, or something, and said that the update's going to be a game changer. And so I don't know. I'm wondering, do you have any speculation? That was one of my things on my list.
No way. I try not to speculate on this game. I stopped speculating a long time ago.
Well, you can look at everything I've done.
Yeah, my hopes and dreams have always been for the king and queen to be used in a war, to be upgraded.
Yeah. So, oh my God. And that's
even for just a rental fee. I just want to rent them for an hour, or rent them for one war for 10 gems or 15 gems or something.
That would be
that would be okay. I could do something like that. 20 gems.
Or yeah, I mean, if your defenses that are upgrading are still able to be used in war, I mean, I could, and that's what's going to happen, because I just had my king down for 6 weeks. Or 7 weeks, and he's about to go back. I had to wake him up.
He came back with some hair on his chest, didn't he?
He did. Yeah. What would you? And I've been struggling with this question. What would you? I'm going to keep going with my king, just because if they change this and then an update, I'm going to be pissed. Where they let the heroes war. But what would you do? Are you doing the heroes 5 at a time?
I did up until I got to 2020. I would like to take my queen straight up to 30, but I really want to use her in war. So I don't know.
So what do you risk? Because my thought, and I'd asked Ash this, do you take the king compensate without the queen? If I took my king all the way up, let's say,
yeah,
would it, and then had my queen for war that whole time, by the time, or maybe 30, right? He's at 22, she's at 22. If I got up to that point, do you think the king could compensate?
No, he can't compensate. I mean, he's a huge piece of each one of them is a huge piece of the game, and if you take it away, I mean, really, it's.
But I've been doing all right without a king.
Yeah.
But now the queen is the problem. So if I'm wondering if he is like,
because she can shoot over the damn walls.
Or at the walls.
Or at the walls all day long.
Oh, that was the big thing in your attack that I saw.
She was shooting a wall that she didn't need to? Shooting a wall that with an empty compartment?
No, there was a compartment there was stuff in that compartment, but she was in a compartment that still had stuff in it. And it wasn't in, you know what? I could see that with the aggro circle on that. Why she would have stopped.
Here's what I'd like to see the Archer Queen do. Instead of just shooting at some random ass wall, shoot at an intersecting wall. You know what I mean? Because I don't know how many times I've seen her, especially recently, shooting just a wall in the middle of a long row of walls instead of, on an intersecting wall that would connect her between this one and two other compartments.
Yeah.
But no, she shoots some stupid wall, and then she gets into that one, and then she turns around and shoots another one right next to the other one that she had just shot.
Oh. Do you know what I saw her do in one of my attacks? They had a ring in the center, and I don't know if it was, I think this was just like in a farming raid. But there was I think the clan castle was walled off in the very center. And and around that they had resources or whatever, maybe not resources, but just defenses and but this was, I'm talking in a very you'd see those bases where there's a big square in the middle, and they have their stuff, but then the one thing was walled off even farther. And everything was being taken out in that center. What did she do? She shot through the wall, got the CC, shot through the other side of the wall. I mean, that's nuts. It was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. I thought this just figures. And but do you think she's more attuned to farming? Because in farming, she seems to do the things that she's supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Maybe they need a war, algorithm for her or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, and you dropped your queen early in the war, and this is the one, or in your war attack.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing the different styles of those war attacks where it's people are either using their heroes up front right away, or they're, hang back, or it's, after the funnel's created. What's your thought on that?
I like to get the queen out there. As long as she's behind, the troops that are in front of her, she can shoot all day long and nothing's going to hit her because all the defenses have something else to target instead of her. So it's just more things that she can take down. So
maybe dropping her earlier than I have. Because you dropped your CC kill squad, then you dropped your queen right away,
and she's helping take out the clan castle troops, which is a big deal. Which helps free up my whatever leftover I have. So
and maybe that's where I'm kind of doing something a little bit wrong. Is where I'm going. Okay, I'll drop the kill squad. And then I wait for them to be taken out beforehand.
Just have to trust in your troops. Trust what you're doing is right.
I do not trust the queen. I do not trust the queen. I did want to ask too, on those attacks, do you think that dropping, so before the CC kill squad, takes out those other troops, do you think that dropping your golem, what's the timing on that? Because I've been dropping it earlier, after they've engaged.
Yeah.
But then I saw in one of the attacks today, the balloons started to follow the golems.
You don't want to lose them to leftover wizards or balloons that are hanging around. Everybody's taking the balloons nowadays too.
Yeah, in the CCs.
Yeah, in the CCs. Yep.
Yeah, and I don't know. I watched those with the witch in the with the kill squad, the 2 witches, 2 barbs, 3 archers, or 2 witches, 2 wizards, 3 barbs. But those loons do not do well against those witches because they follow those skeletons.
Yeah, they keep and they never drop a bomb. You ever notice that? Because by the time they decide that they're going to drop a bomb, that little skeleton that they've been following has already either moved on or something has already destroyed that skeleton. So then it has to retarget something different. So then it moves over to another skeleton. And by the time that slow-ass balloon gets over the top of the next target, that one's gone as well. So that damn thing, either you get the whole basket with that thing, or you get nothing out of it. Because if that balloon's still left standing after, the clan castle kill troops are done. So if, the enemy clan castle has overtaken your kill squad, if that balloon's still up there, you're wrecked. Because that's going to turn around and find your golem and then just
do damage.
Drop, 3 bombs and your golem's done, and drop 2 bombs and your king's done.
Well, what are you rocking in your CC, your war CC these days?
Oh,
because you changed it up, don't you?
I do. I haven't changed it in a couple weeks. I'm
going back to the big dog.
1 balloon, 1 Valk, 1 archer, 6 minis, and 1 wizard right now.
Nice.
And I know with Loch Ness, I've got goblins in there somewhere.
I did throw a gob. I did ask for a gob in my CC today. So I did a wizard. I'm going back to the pig dog because I got I copied Big Fry's base. Yeah. I don't know if I said this on because it was on Soaz. I was on the Soaz guys podcast the other night. But I was looking for a base, and war was getting close, and we matched against Soaz this week, and Sasquatch is in Soaz and in House of L.
Yeah,
and I was looking for a base, and so some of our guys from L went over to Soaz so we could match up, and great. It was a really great collaboration. Awesome. I think it was a really cool model for how a matchup could work.
Yeah, the cooperation that went into it. Yeah. And no hard feelings, no drama. Everything went smooth.
Yeah.
It was a fun war. And it turned out, the ending turned out to be awesome.
I agree. I'm like, I really like that we drew because, it was like a competition among friends, and it's like, if one of us would have won, it would have been fine. If of course, if I wouldn't have choked on my TH9, but
just deploy the minis a little later, and you'd have been fine.
You think so?
Yeah,
I would have one time. I panicked.
It's okay,
and then I forgot that I was doing it live on air. But as soon as I came out and I saw the draw, I thought it was really cool. I'm like, this is a perfect way to end it. And I called it earlier in the war. I'm like, I could really see this just ending in a draw because everybody was doing really nice attacks. And so, but the thing that was just awesome about it was like, there was no, you were in both clans. There were people who were from L over there. Mm-hmm. They got to go up against friends, and bragging rights that way. I got to attack T Skits, where my queen, I don't know if you saw that, but she hiccuped.
Did she?
Yeah, it was, the town hall was almost dead. And I hit her power, and she came out of invisibility and didn't shoot for like a second. And there was that one sliver of town hall left. And had she shot, I think it would have taken it. I mean, it was super close.
Yeah.
But still, it was super fun. And, big props again to Soaz guys. How was it for you in that war? You attacked on both sides.
I attacked on both sides, and my attack sucked. So, I mean, really, I'd like not to talk about them. Yeah.
Oh,
actually,
okay.
My second attack for Sasquatch wasn't too bad.
Okay.
A couple changes, couple tweaks, and maybe I had it, but my early ones, everything falls apart. Like if you mess up on something with hogs, if you mess up early with hogs, you really don't have a chance.
Yeah, it's kind of like with the dragon attacks. But
I got to start taking more wall breakers. That's what it is.
You think so?
Yeah, I've been trying to pinch on my wall breakers, and I need to just bring 3 or 4 instead of just 2, just to make sure I get through the wall.
I kind of feel like that about the lure troops too. It's like if I go, I think 3 is going to do it, then I go, okay, I better bring 4. Because it seems like if it hinges on that early stage of an attack, if you're going in to try to lure, so if I'm, I could lure with 1 giant, I think I'm going to bring 2 because shit always goes wrong.
Well, and if you run in one of those bases like T-Skits, where he asks for, what the hell does he ask for? He asks for a wizard or something, and then like 30 archers. Well, you're never getting the archers out.
Yeah, that's something that I've noticed with my swarm army about how much power it is when you've got so many archers shooting at the same thing, especially max level archers. But he's been rocking a dragon in his CC too. And so, did you notice a lot of difference in bases or base design? I don't know if people changed. I don't remember how many people changed them
for the Soaz war.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Every Town Hall 9 was running some sort of an anti-3 base.
Because looking at it on the Twitch stream, it was like, wow. I don't know if I just don't pay attention. Like when, maybe on defense as much as I'm watching people attack in war.
Yeah.
But I thought, these bases are really rocking.
Yeah, everybody kind of stepped up their game. You've got to match up, and the people on the other side. You want to show off. You want to try and be, you want to be better. So.
And so, who did you take in that war? Who'd you go out? Did you have a?
Oh, I didn't care who was there. It didn't bother me who I was going after. Let's see. For Sasquatch on my second attack, I went after Sadorn. I only got 2 stars. Didn't help out any. He had already been 2-starred by somebody else.
Yeah, but that was a tough base. Some of their bases were deceptively tough.
Everybody's base was tough. I mean, everybody's base was tough.
That one, Thunder, he ate a bunch of. Ranger ate God knows how many attacks. I think he ate 5, I think.
Here, I got it right here. Actually, I just pulled it back up. Ranger ate 6 attacks.
6 attacks.
Yeah. J-Mond ate 4. Those are really our big ones right there. 6 and 4. Yep.
How many did Thunder eat? Do you know?
Thunder. Where's he at? Oh, he's on Soaz side.
Yeah, he's on Soaz.
I know Locke ate 5 attacks over there. I was pretty proud of that one. Yeah, Hammer had to come all the way down and get me. And I was number 17 out of 20. Yeah.
Oh, that's who he took, huh?
Yeah.
At the very end. Because I came up, because there was a bunch of attacks going on right at the very end.
That bastard.
Oh, man, I still just get a big kick out of it. Because then everybody came back, and it's like, I was like, T-Skits, I hate your base. I'm like, that thing sucked. But, and he had attacked me too. It was just, I was really proud of how everything went. Even I basically assumed everybody knew everything, about both sides, but no part of the chat or no part of even line or was anybody sharing secrets or,
no.
We was straight up fair play. Let's have fun kind of war. And it was awesome. So,
Thunder ate 5 attacks as well.
And 1 was me.
And 1 was you.
So good job, second. Thunder.
Yeah.
Let's see. So you, I had here matchup idea. I don't know if it was something.
Was it the matchup idea about delaying the start?
Yeah, that was
delaying the button.
Yep. That's what I was going to ask you about. So you had sent a message online.
Yeah.
About this.
I talked to JD a little bit, and I was chatting it over with, I guess, Papa Smurf and JD on the L chat whenever we tried to match up with Soaz the first time. And we had I had Loch Ness and Sasquatch over in L. And I was talking to him like, well, I wonder if when you push the button at the exact same time with two clans and you're trying to match them up, I wonder if when you start, it's like when you start a race and you take off from the starting line and you're just running in a parallel line. And then as you go by, in this computer maze of servers and crap, looking for other matchups for yourself, each one of you is going by the same matchup, but you're never looking to the left or to the right to see if there's a matchup actually right next to you.
You're kind of waiting to see if somebody from a different lane joins in.
Exactly. So if you delayed your button pushing time, by even a minute, maybe that first clan gets out there in front of you, and then you push the button, and that gives you the chance. Maybe that's why the hunting thing works so well, because they don't really know when somebody's going to push the button. They just know when they have pushed the button, because then it's out there.
And then they go looking for it.
And then they go to hunt, because sometimes they don't match up for 15, 20, a couple hours, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, and
there was, I think he delayed it by, he said, I think 30 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, I heard, I talked to him afterward. He said he delayed it. So, yeah, whatever it was, it worked.
Which was just that, in and of itself was awesome, because the Soaz and Zod had matched. They'd done all that stuff, but we had tried so many times, since then to do it.
We had tried to match ourselves, 2 or 3 times. Tried to match Soaz once before. What else was it? I know we've tried to match other people.
Oh, the K-Fam.
Yeah, the K-Fam thing. We've probably only made it work.
Twice?
The Soaz Zod War, the Soaz L War just now.
Yeah.
So, and really the first L Zod War was just a fluke. Nobody knew what was going on with the matchup system. At least what we had any idea of at that point in time.
Yeah, exactly. It was like random. I mean, we were pushing the button at the same time, I think, but I don't even think at that point we'd heard of people matching.
No.
We said, well, let's try it that way, but
I don't even think you guys did. I remember listening to the podcast, and you were talking about how, what was it, you went in with 40, or was it 35, or whatever the number was, and last minute Zod had to change, or maybe it was vice versa, but it was something like that, and you didn't realize that somebody wasn't, at that time you didn't have the opt-in, opt-out. So if you had 37, you were only going to get 35 in the war, and the bottom 2 were going to be out.
Wow.
So, and that cutoff, I think somebody missed, maybe they were at 39 or something, or we were at 39 and missed, and
I think that was what it was. It was like 39.
Yeah, it was like a huge coincidence that it even happened.
And we're coming up on a year of House of L.
Mm-hmm.
The year anniversary. I've got to figure out when it is, because I don't remember specifically, like, the first, when it was formed. If it was, I think I have, like, the pictures from the first war, but I don't know if it, like, if we...
Like we had a date on it or something like that?
Yeah, I'm sure I could find out, from the picture, like, the date, but I don't remember if it was, like, we started it and then went into a war right away, that type of stuff.
We did. We started and went into a 10-person war, I think, right away.
The first time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was number 7 with Locke, and then we started, within a half hour or 45 minutes of that, and tried to get one going right away.
Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to figure that out, because I think it's coming up early July. Which is kind of crazy to think about. It's, been a year.
How long you been playing the game?
3 years almost.
Yeah, almost 3 years. I'm at almost 2.5 now.
That's nuts too. That's really crazy. So I'm looking forward to what the update brings and stuff. And so Supercell has a new game.
Oh, do they?
It is not available in the U.S. yet.
That's right. You were saying it's Canada, right?
Yeah, Canada and the Australian App Store.
Keep it over there. I can't afford another game.
It's
time-wise.
It's really fun. It's kind of like Pool meets Clash of Clans meets Boom Beach in some ways. Like, I mean, there's like elements of all the games.
Yeah.
And on the Clash Files, they were talking about daily quests or team quests. And they were kind of saying, how would that work? What would be the stuff? Well, they do that in that game.
Oh, yeah.
But it kind of runs like Candy Crush. Like, you only get energy for so many things. And then, so you have to come back and do it. It's pretty cool.
I hate those games.
I do too, but it makes sense. It's a perfect in-between Clash game. Like when you're waiting, if you're waiting for you can go play a quick one. But they have team goals. So the team goals in that could easily be something that Clash could do because they've already got the infrastructure there. So I thought they were talking about it, and I thought that could be something like in this update because they already know how to make it work.
Yeah.
They're doing it in this, game that's in beta, release or whatever. What they do is they say like, there's and the troops are honestly like exactly like elements of Clash. And so you totally get you totally kind of have a feel for what everything is. And so there's like, the barbier, the archer, but the archer has an axe. It's just like the Val kind of.
What if they're just testing it out up there to figure out another element for Clash?
Could be.
I mean, because if they're not going to release it to the United States yet.
Well, and they just introduced spells into it too. So that's like the first time so it's cool to see it. But so the team goals work like have everybody on it'll say like destroy 250 princess pals. yeah. Or like 250 using Princess Pow. So you could see it working like destroy. So a team challenge would be like destroy, this in this 3-day period, 150 expos.
Mm-hmm.
And as your clan progressed in that, you would contribute to it. And then it says under each member in that game, it says like active in this team goal.
Right.
So you see people who are trying to do that, or they say, yeah, you're using a certain troop. So they might say destroy 800 buildings using Valkyries. I could see them targeting and making people in that way change up how they do their game. Like, or what troop compositions they're using.
Yeah.
So, and then you get gems for doing it. Your whole team does. So it's kind of cool.
Or diamonds.
Yeah, diamonds. Yeah.
Diamonds. Yeah.
It's pretty.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that sampling. They're just sampling it up there right now, and then just going to add it to Clash later.
Yep. And there's one other really cool thing about the game, and people have talked about this. You can challenge teammates to battle on this one. And it's like, of course, it's a different type of game.
But see, that's all stuff that people would like to see in Clash.
Yeah, exactly.
And why try and start a new game when you already have this community of 20 million people that play Clash of Clans? You know what I mean? You already have a game that has the major foothold in this industry right now.
Well, it's
for mobile gaming, so it's crazy.
But it's because it's something to do in between. And they've been doing some really interesting things with it. I'm excited to see what happens, but I haven't really talked about that yet. But I'm digging it. It's not a Clash replacement by any means.
Yeah,
it's just like a cool little side thing.
Yeah, people have always wanted those like single player things, or that would be like a clan XP way to get it without being in war. That some people have talked about.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just get clan XP that way.
Yeah, you get the farming clans that don't want to be in wars or for whatever unknown reason, but they can get their XP that way instead of actually warring like they are now and just losing on purpose.
Or they can, and what they do is they change it every couple days for the team goals. So it could be gain however many trophies. So you could actually encourage teams to trophy push a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a way to engage them on the game in a different way, which would be really cool to see. And I know we kind of had talked about it a little bit more, and I know Nat especially, the other two parts of the game, the farming part and the trophy pushing part, rounding those off a little bit more to make them more like get them back as to part of the game, I guess. Yeah.
They are, but you've really got to, it's like you're either in this group here or you're in this group here or you're in this group over here. There's not a whole lot of mingling of those groups. No.
And this would be a way to engage that, I think.
Yeah.
It's fun to see people trophy pushing like in the clan. I want to do that. I'm so behind on my heroes.
I did my push and I'm up to champs and I'm done.
Yeah. When did you hit champ?
Actually, when I started doing it before Rigoletto did it, but I do the slow push because I don't do it with gems because I don't spend any money. So, and that's
how long did it take you? I mean,
when I was really trying, it probably took me, 3 weeks from where I was at. But I wouldn't try and push on a war day because that's just crazy. And then my schedule doesn't allow me really to push on the weekends because I don't really have service then.
Okay.
So if you don't war, if you don't push on war day and then you don't war on the weekends, there's 2, 4, it gave me about 2 or 3 days to push during the week.
See, and that's how I feel about farming some days. Like some of those war days, I'm like just kind of hanging out. It's especially when I'm scouting a lot. And I've been doing that more, like if I like, with, when we call our base, I've been spending more time looking at it, and I'll mull it over and then walk away. And then I kind of come back and look at it. So what was your secret about getting up there to champ? Like it's a TH9 going to champ.
Yeah. TH9 with no gems going to champ.
So how'd you do it?
I just cook a Lilunian, or no, not even a Lilunian, just cook a Balloonian army. And then like when I was ready to sit down, of course I would have my town hall on the outside because once you got to the high masters, your base isn't going to hold up whenever you're pushing to all the way up there to champ because any town hall 10 will come down and wreck you. And I would just rather give you my 1 star and give you my town hall than for you to come in and try and take all my loot and my stars.
Yeah, and your trophies.
And my trophies, yeah. And plus, by the time I was done pushing, I didn't want to put my king or queen down at the time because I wanted to have them both for the push because I really wanted to get the 2,000 gems, whenever I got to the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Are you still rocking the 2,000 gems?
Still sitting on over 2,000 gems.
Are you really?
Yeah, haven't spent them.
Britney Spears has just been racking in gems too.
It's nice when you don't spend them.
It is, and actually, I've went on a much bigger gem diet on Scotty from the farming, and just not like I did wake up my king for the Soaz war. So I mean that took a bunch out, but but like when you can pull out enough gems to gem your spell factory on war day,
Oh yeah. You can get one of those little one of those little Lucky Charm things.
The gem boxes.
No, gem boxes. Once a week or so. There's 25 gems. That's 2 wars right there. Plus, whatever bushes and everything you can chop down during the week. Yeah, you can easily just gem your spell factory.
And like with Brittany, I've been like today. I was like, you know what? I got 250 gems for hitting crystal.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was.
Well, you get 450. One of the original perks that you used to get, you get 450 gems at 1,250 trophies. That was one of the.
Oh because that's where you got your builder.
That was where you would get your builder. That's where everybody got their builder beforehand. Yeah, because either you usually got your third builder right then, because you would push real hard, and it took you forever back then to get to 1,250. Either Town Hall 6 or, early 7.
Reminds me of the champ mark, because you'd get close to that and you're like, I'm trying to go for 1250. And then after you hit it, you kind of could just do it.
Yeah, it was over.
And go right past it.
Coast. Yeah, so
she hit that 250, and then, like I've been just pulling things. I've just been with my TH8, not even farming, not even like farming, because the war days have happened, and like with the Soaz stuff, I've just been busy funneling it into walls. Do you have any advice for me as a TH8 about what to do next?
Where are you at? What you got? Tell the audience what you got.
Okay, let me see here. Defenses are low. So I went over to LexCorp and started pushing with them. And I let my builders go sleepy.
It's okay.
Yeah, you know what? And I think that's one of the best things I did, because what I did then instead is to keep a resource low, I put it into the wall. And as I started getting those purple walls, the level 7, like I stopped getting hit so hard.
Yeah.
And so what I've just been doing is collecting from the pumps and mines, and then I'll go raid, here and there, and just putting that all into the walls, and I'm really just going for elixir and dark elixir. My king is at 9.
That's good.
Yep.
You're almost done there.
I know, and that's the sticky part for me. I've got to do my hogs and everything like that.
That's okay.
I do have, okay, so if I look at everything I've got done, I'm a dragon person still. Because I've got level 3 hogs. My rage spell is going to 5.
So it'll be maxed for that level.
Yep. And so what I did was, I did my lightning first, because since I talked to you, lightning the air defense is awesome if you're using drags.
I think it still works.
Yeah, I think it still works really well.
Yeah.
Because everybody's positioning those air defenses around the 2 high hit point buildings, which are the Town Hall and the Clan Castle. And then the air sweeper. And so because of that, if you can take out the one around the sides of the thing, but the one that's going to be the odd one out, and maybe whatever side you can hit from. And so I haven't been using rages with dragons, but I thought, well, I better do heal next, because I use heal in farming.
Okay.
And I know that no matter what, I'm not going to use, if I start to do hogging, if I can get up to that point, I'm not going to use rage on hogs.
Right. Yeah. You use a heal on hogs.
Yeah. And so that's where I'm at. Now I have not been doing the best all the time with drag attacks. The last war I got, in L, when I was over in Soaz, I just blew it. Like I had a plan, I went in, it just didn't quite work. What I was finding was that the drags were bunching up a lot on the CC. So like the CC, like they'd come out.
Yeah.
And the drags were there, they bunched up, the wizards destroyed them.
Yeah. Here's what I've been doing with Yeti, because Yeti is a Town Hall 8. I got max lightning. I've only got level 4 rage, and I've only got level 2 hogs. So that's really about all I've got. So I'm right there with you.
Same position.
Same position. Only mine's more defenseless than yours is. And I've got a level 6 king. What I've been doing lately is getting rid of one of my dragons, and I've been taking 2 giants and 2 hogs, 2 level 2 hogs, and a clan castle full of hogs. And what I've been doing is dropping a giant to lure out the clan castle troops, and then I'll drop my other giant across the base from the air defense that I want a lightning, and I'll drop my other giant over there The clan castle troops will come walking across the base, and then I'll zoom in, triple tap on the air defense I want gone with my lightning, and I'll eliminate most of the clan castle troops along with the air defense as they walk by. And then I can start my funneling with my dragons from wherever I want to. And then I've also got 2 hogs, so whenever I start, I can drop my king down to start tanking for my hogs. I'll drop my 2 low-level hogs to try and get rid of any spring traps or giant bombs, and then drop my clan castle troops of max hogs and let them go straight into the air defense that they can get to. And they usually wind up lasting,
way longer.
Yeah, 5 or 6 defenses. So
the CC full of loons is out. Hogs are in.
That's what I've been doing.
Bacon's
probably
in.
The last month. Yeah.
That would solve a lot of my problems. So how do you deal with the air sweeper?
Coming from the other side. That's pretty much it. I zap it just depends on the configuration of the air, the air sweeper.
Yeah.
But I usually don't worry about it. I mean, I notice where it's at, and then I try and come in from the backside of it.
Well, I suppose if you're going to use hogs on an air defense, then you have way less to worry about with those loons coming in about where the air sweeper is.
Yeah.
Because you figure at that point, they're going to get... okay. I could see why in some of those attacks, on all of the attacks, why that would work. The only thing that... Now, do you run into problems with... So the king has saved me a few times. Like in this last attack, not the last attack, but this last war, I dropped the king and saved my drags because I let him tank for, on the backside. But you probably don't need to necessarily run into that.
Well, yeah. If I can save the dragons on the front side, I think I save more of the dragons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because by the end, hopefully you're only down to a couple archer towers. But on the front side, you're going up against a level 6 air defense. So if you can get rid of the air defense first, because that air defense is going to chew through dragons,
Yeah, the level 6 air defense is where I've really been running into problems.
Yeah.
Where I've been like, oh, man, should I be raging and healing? But I just don't think that I don't really see it as that effective where like it's a trade-off. I don't see I see the lightning is like going, I'm taking out one air defense is going to save me a lot of time.
Right.
Okay. So let's kind of recap this. On the configuration of a base, you've got the CC. What if you can always lure on from a CC?
You can almost always lure on a Town Hall 8, to get the CC with a giant. Or if you have to, I lose a hog, and then I'll take a third giant to make sure I get that lure.
Okay.
So, sometimes I'll use 2 giants to get the lure, whatever it takes. Or if I can swap out with a barb, I'll do the barb. But I don't think I can a lot of times.
So you're basically going to lure. Do you zoom in right after? Because that's the best trick ever. Yeah. Is zooming in. I'm telling you, zooming in, lightning. You're not going to miss that air defense. It doesn't hang on by a thread.
Yeah. And zoom in before you switch over to the lightning. I still see a couple people do that every now and again, where they'll zoom in, and on their path to zooming in, their finger comes, one of their zoom in fingers comes off, and then you accidentally drop a lightning, and it's
drop spells are the
son
worst.
Of a bitch. And I got 2 lightning spells to take out a level 6 air defense. That's ruined.
And so, okay, so you do the lure. How do you time it so that you can? And so you're going to pull them so that way it's going to directly go in front of the air defense. You're going to lightning. Yeah, you
just want those clan castle troops to path directly over the air defense that you're going to zap. And I drop the giant that I want them to. The only reason why I use giants because I know the giants can tank longer.
Yeah.
And that's
what you need.
That's basically what you need. So I drop the giant. He tanks. The clan castle troops come walking over. I zoom in. And as soon as I start to see an archer, cross over, then I'll tap. I'll start tapping. And then usually about that time, because you got 3 of them, you got plenty of room there. And really, one lightning will take out, 75% of that. Especially if you're talking all archers and barbs and stuff like that. Those wizards are going to hang on for the second one. But, you got 3 of them, as long as they're close.
Well, is there like a rhythm to your tap? Because I'm just like tap, tap, tap.
Oh, you tap it hard and fast.
Okay. Hard and fast. Bring this thing down. I like that idea, because I've been running into those bases where that's been happening. And I've thought maybe it was those whiz towers that are like all purple, or not all purple, but
it's archer towers.
And what I've been doing with those whiz towers, when I see that, I'm like, you know what? I only need 1 dragon here. I've been trying to minimize the amount on those things, because I'm like, they're not doing that much damage to the dragon. But if you've got 4 of them, they're doing the same damage to 4 dragons.
Right. But you have to remember, what's a wizard tower dishing out per second? Like 40 or 50 per second, something like that?
Yeah, it's not much.
It's not much. And a dragon has like 2,000 hit points. So you can be there an awful long time.
Okay.
You're there 50 seconds for that 1 wizard tower, just banging on a dragon.
Will Yeti switch to hogs? Would you, if you could, would you be doing hog attacks? Yeah,
I will eventually. I'm taking my time. I just attacked on Yeti today for the first time in 22 days. My attack log is only 2. I only have 2 attack logs on there.
Really?
Yeah. So I haven't. The only loot that I get has been from collecting my elixir pumps and my 1 gold mine, and just collect that and then put it right back into my dragons for the next war. And that's basically all I do. I just
collect your war loot.
Yeah, I cook about 9 dragons, and then I determine whether or not I'm gonna, right now I'm over in Soaz XX, and I was over there helping out their lower guys, because that's basically a clan of a lot of small town halls. So I was helping them, trying to get them to learn dragon attacks and things like that, to get them all to progress through the game. So
if you're a new TH, you're TH7. What's the max hogs at TH7? 3?
Max hogs at 7 is 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if there's 4 at 8, and then 5 at 9.
Yeah.
And if they had 6 at 10, it would be awesome.
I think that would be just. I really hope that would be. It has to be something.
If that happens, I would almost put money that Jake's going to Town Hall 10 real fast.
You think so?
Yeah. That's just a guess.
Yeah, because even if they could last a little bit longer under Infernos, that's got to be coming.
You would think so, with the 5 giant bombs and the extra level on the giant bombs that they have up there.
Yeah, they've got to give somebody. And like I said, this to DP, and it's kind of been the talk. Is that if you've got, they've got too many people at 9. Supercell does. Yeah, so you need to make people go up.
Mm-hmm.
And
nobody wants to go there yet.
Yeah, and so what would be the incentive to get people to go there? What would get you to go there?
Nothing. I'm just going to have to get max lava walls. Yeah, I'm just going to take my time, do my couple lava walls a week, and just cruise on up there.
So are you just collecting to get your lava walls?
A lot of it, yeah. So I'll probably, like tonight, I hit a couple times with my healer and queen combo. But yeah, I don't do a whole lot other than just collect my war loot and collect my just regular loot.
That's kind of the way to do it. I think that's how I'm gonna start playing Britney Spears, because
I don't mind. I still need to get so much better. And I don't even know if I'm going to get any better. This is just where I'm at. I can help people. I'll just do that.
Yeah, but you're learning, but you're still learning and doing new stuff. And you come do great attacks, or at least if the attack doesn't go so well, you've tried something, But you can definitely learn from those attacks, because you can see what's going on. in the process. But like with Brittany, I felt like, okay, a little bit of pressure, like, okay, I got to get the hog stuff done. But I like the king. And so I've been trying to do, the spell factory or whatever, to research it and keep those things going.
Yeah.
I haven't been researching anything. Like I think I did my farming troops first, but I wouldn't, it's very war focused.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that my builder's sleepy at this point. I just want to like finish those walls.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm almost contemplating just doing the next set of walls.
Doing the level 8s?
Yeah, doing the level 8s and forcing people, the black walls at that level, forcing people to into attacks. And that's what it does. And you saw that in the Soaz war a lot, I thought, where even the 10s, and they call them like 9.5s or whatever, they've got the lower defenses. Mm-hmm. They were still hard to hit because they force you into a certain type of attack. So if it's a TH8, if I put all those black walls in, and then all of a sudden, and I don't level up my defenses.
Well, yeah, that's going to be a great way to stop the go wipe. Yeah. That's going to be your biggest deterrent for the go wipe because there is no jump at Town Hall 8. So there's no jump spell to get over those level 8 walls. And within the compartments on the inside,
yeah,
you're going to stop most of those. You'll slow down the go wipe.
And then it would be dragons or hogs.
Right.
And you can do an anti-hog base and an anti-drag base and make it more. I might just do that. Just play it like a different stuff. Something that I'm not having to be like, kind of farming. I play my main account enough that I don't need to be, doing that with my second.
That's why I don't spend a whole lot of time farming on any of my accounts, is for that reason right there, is because I've got 3 of them, and then where am I going to come up with the time to sit there for 2 hours on each base and work on it? It's not worth it.
I think I was kind of feeling bad about it, and I think that's why Exace went away for a while, because I was like, I just can't do this. I can't play it like it's,
I can't be with you anymore.
I can't, just go. Shh, just go. Like the
Close
Dumb and Dumber.
Close the door on the way out.
The Dumb and Dumber, he puts a finger right up to her lips.
Stay in the moment.
Yeah,
stay in the
moment. Be here with me. That might be how Brittany does it. The only thing is the elixir and the upgrades, but I guess there's no rush if it's my second account.
Well, you can't put elixir into walls either. So all the elixir that you have is going to go into the research.
Right. I guess what I meant is like it took me a while to get up to enough for the rage spell upgrade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was kind of like waiting on it, and I guess I'm in that same mindset mentality in my main account where I'm like, nope, shit needs to be going constantly.
Yeah.
And if I can break that, I guess maybe that'll work.
Is your town hall on the outside on your farming base?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Then you should be fine.
Yeah. And now that I've got those walls, I'm not getting hit that much. And I bet if I put in the black walls, I'm still not finished with my blue walls. I mean, or my purple walls or whatever. But I can do a couple a day. And it's when I was pushing, it really went fast.
Yeah. See, that would be so awesome to still be able to push. And like if I pushed for a couple hours and got 5 lava walls done, that would be awesome.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's 15 million of something.
Those guys are like,
I can't. The they're teenagers. They're teenagers. They're all from school. They got somebody's credit card, and they're boosting all day long.
Well, and I've been with the main account, I've been putting all my stuff into the walls, and it was awesome after the war tonight because I was like, you know what? Oh, another lava wall. And I've been always resistant to walls. And I will say this about the Soaz War too, kind of proved to me like it's not even on TH10, like they didn't have like super high walls, but they were still like tough, like because you're really focused on defenses at that point. It does make it a little bit easier to get in. But I don't think I played the game wrong the first time. The second time I will play it different because there's so many more people that know how to play the game.
Yeah. And look, this game has got so many different ways. There is no wrong way to play this game because, when we first started, we took our first accounts and we raced up to Town Hall 8s or whatever it was.
Yep.
And then I came back with my second account and I did everything, by the book, level up as you go. And now, people want those rushed bases with, maxed offense for that level. And now you're like, well, what the hell? It's a total circle. Just like what you're doing with your Jive Arch. It's the same thing. Because I remember back in the day, I was running Giants in Barch. Add a couple wall breakers in there just to get everything inside to get to the stuff in the core. It's the same thing. It's a vicious circle. And now, what is this? The Hocus Pocus with all the witches?
Yeah. I'm fascinated by that attack.
I mean...
But that was when the witches came out.
That was the same thing when the witches came out. It's a circle. That's what everybody's doing.
I do miss the early witches, though. Do you remember those things?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
they used to stand further back.
Yeah.
Now those witches walk right up to whatever they're trying to shoot at, and they just get in there.
And I'd take 2 witches with hogs back then.
Yeah.
And just do some damage. Because they were stood back far enough that you could just let them do the work. But that's why that Mass Witch is working really well, because it kind of does the same principle in a sense, because you add more witches and I've been I say like I've been noticing, but I'm kind of talking about like also like speaking to like newer players. If you only take one witch does not do well by herself.
No.
I mean, you need, because she summons, and if that cannon, you watch a cannon, it'll like take, and it takes her a second to, raise, the next stuff. And then that's when she gets hit.
Yeah.
So when you have like 2 or 3, that's when it becomes powerful. And then watching those mass witch attacks, I'm just like, oh, that is the coolest thing I've
Yeah, you just overwhelm all the defenses that are there. They just can't cycle through fast enough.
Yeah, and the Infernos, too. Like, the Infernos you would think would just, boom, boom, boom. But it takes them a second to refocus. I don't think a full second. But it takes them a little bit of time. And when you've got so many of the little Larrys running around, it's just... I love that. And I think it's because partly I'm loving the swarm in my farming attacks. I don't know what I just hear the screaming crowd.
Do you play with the sound on?
No, it's not silent. But in my head, it's like, run, run, like,
fire.
Yeah, like birds are swooping in. They're like running through, like, it's like playing like the birds or something in my head while I'm attacking. I just think it's the funniest thing.
What is it? What is it? Z War or Z Nation or whatever it was?
World War Z?
Yeah, World War Z.
Yeah, totally the same thing. Like they're climbing those walls, like the zombie horde. I'm just
going right over the top.
And I watch that movie all the time. Still,
it's a good movie.
It's a fantastic movie. So I just am loving it, and just kind of I'm liking playing the game because now that my spell factories or all my research is done, which means there's going to be a new troop or some other level. Obviously,
something's coming up. Yeah,
because I'm done with it. I just love being able to kind of have fun. I'm not worrying about elixir, and I just don't boost my spell factory. I just got my spell factory going, and then I'll take whatever's there. But I didn't play that farming side for a long time. I mean, I farmed, but it was with hogs and with
expensive stuff.
Yeah, with expensive toys.
And see, now you've cut back.
I've cut back. I took your advice. Because you had said, like, no, that's a really expensive army to be, sending in to do whatever. And I just always loved wrecking the base.
Yeah.
But I also, like, because I've been doing that on my main account, and then I do that on Brittany, like, with just I don't even take wall breakers. I take giants, archers, barbs. 2 barracks of archers, 1 barrack of barbs, 1 barrack of giants. Heal spells cooking. And just letting them tank at the wall, and then letting my archers clear, going on in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been just fun to play it that way again.
It's nice to have that patience at the wall, isn't it?
It is.
I know you were talking about Dirty Pirate and then him helping you out and slowing you down on that 5 golem attack.
It has changed my entire game.
Slow it down, let the wizards clean some stuff up, let them catch up to your golems, and then let them in.
Yeah, because now I'm just like, you know what? Because I think it was always like, oh, they're going to shoot it, and I got to get them further into the defenses. The golems ain't doing shit on defenses.
Well, you know what happens at the end of all of your attacks, right? The stupid golem's still there.
Yeah.
He's the last damn one. He's out there in the middle of, 17 defenses, still tanking for nobody. For the one archer back there shooting the wall.
You don't even need it,
Yeah.
And so that really, really, if he went to walk through that with me on the air, you could have probably told me it over and over again. But because he was like there and just saying, wait, no, just drop your stuff. It's crazy. It's my war attacks have gotten way, way better because of that. Because I'm like, oh wait, I only need to drop 1 or 2 wizards here instead of 7 because I just got to smash it,
Mm-hmm.
and get in there. I also like that I'm not taking in rage. I got 1 rage in my main account.
Yeah.
Because I find like, I think, and I talked about it a while ago, but it was just that like the rage takes your other troops ahead of your other stuff. And so if you hit it at the right critical point, that's all I need.
I'm starting to wonder if rage is only useful for when your troops meet the CC troops. You know what I mean? Because there's going to be a bottleneck right there. So there's going to be a lot of time spent, at that one junction. Because that's about the only junction that your troops are going to stay and hang out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I think the rage is the best when it's, for me right now, because I'm still figuring this shit out.
Well, you're 10, not me.
Yeah, I feel like it's on the core at the TH because whatever's coming up to it, but like, and I usually drop it a little bit slower or a little bit back to get the wizards in and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But dropping it just on the core, I am not regretted not taking more than 1 rage. I've never said, you know what, I should have brought another rage. Because it always seemed to just mess it up. I love bringing in 2 jump spells.
Right.
And then the 2 freeze. And in fact, the freeze is what sometimes is like a 10. I'm like, maybe I should just be taking 3 jump and 1 freeze and taking the 1 inferno, freezing the other one.
And then a rage through the first one?
Yeah, raged right through the first.
Yeah.
Because, and that's another thing, like with the infernos, if you really pay attention to how much damage they're doing, if you can get the tanking troops in there, they don't do a ton. I mean, it's not that fast.
No, they're at like, what is it, like 55 per second?
Which is a half of an archer tower.
Yeah.
But for the most part.
Yeah, it's a constant,
Yeah. And
so, but they can do 5 at one time.
Yeah, 5 at one time.
That's the killer.
So if you can get your hordes in there, or at least like I think maybe with a 5 golem attack, it's like then you've got the 5 tanks or the king and the queen. Mm-hmm. It used to be like, well, if it's on the king and the queen, I better like do their ability, or I better I love that one update that showed the bar progress. That really makes a difference. Because I see him go onto that, and I just sit down and I watch, and I'm like, I'll wait for them to just get low, and then, hit it. Instead of jumping the gun on that. I think that is usually the problem. Because a lot of people I've noticed, like, what I see an attack and somebody's like, okay, I would not sacrifice speed for health
Mm-hmm.
on the heroes.
No.
And so they'll drop the hero, they'll rage the hero to do more damage faster. I'm like, no, it's about regenerating that health.
Oh yeah,
and,
yeah. Take some down and then bring it back up.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy to me, like how things change. So we should we're about an hour 20.
Okay.
You
want to break it?
Yeah. Well, here, let me ask you a last question here.
Sure.
And maybe I have asked you. Do you have an embarrassing Clash of Clans story?
An embarrassing one?
Like where you, like an attack, or or like where you've clashed or had to clash, and I don't know. I'm just
like where you've done I heard this on another one. Like where was your craziest place to get a war attack in or something like that, maybe?
Oh, is that where somebody else
I heard
says
somebody, yeah. I don't remember exactly who it was, but
I just thought about it because I was thinking about the other night. I'm like, I recorded with the Clash Files, and I was like, well, let me ask, just a couple questions, like maybe not embarrassing, but like, I think of Charlie Trees all the time. How he hiked up the mountain to get his war attack in.
Yeah, see, that's awesome.
Yeah.
He's probably never going to get booted out of L just because of that story right there.
Yeah, exactly. He's
a lifer.
Got his attack in by hiking up a mountain.
I can't do that.
I was lost in the wilderness. I couldn't get cell signal and call for help. But I finally did. I got my attack in first. And then, with my 1% battery, I dialed 911.
Yeah. Then I cut off my arm.
Yeah, exactly. And I just thought about it. I was kind of like thinking about asking them that question last night, and I'm like, well, I wonder what people would say to that. And then for some reason, George Costanza on Seinfeld popped in my mind, where he's eating the sandwich in bed, and I'm going, they're having sex, and he's like crawling out, having a bite of his sandwich, crawling back under the covers. Anything that comes to mind where you're just like, can't believe, like, Coop said, well, I've been in the toilet at work.
Everybody's done that.
Yes.
Give it the old fist pump after you 3-star.
Yeah. You walk out of the bathroom,
that happens
come out
all
of the
time.
stall, and you're like, I did it. Yes.
No, I don't have any crazy war attacks like that. I don't think. I try to get myself in a safe situation before that ever happens.
You always time it right down to the very, like,
2 minutes. I do most of the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you set an alarm on your phone, or do you?
No, I just try and pay attention all day long.
But what's going on?
And sometimes I can't quite sit down to dinner. Sometimes I got to bail out on my last minute attack, so I get it done a little bit earlier, or I'll just accidentally have to go to the bathroom at that time.
Yeah.
Things like that happen.
Excuse me.
Crap. Oh, I gotta. It's a bad one. It's a bad one.
I'm cramping.
You get that alert. The war is about to end. 30 minutes ahead of time.
Yeah, I suppose that comes through, doesn't it?
So you get that. So I leave it on my screen. I don't get rid of it. And then you can watch it as it ticks down. So, it'll say, war is about to end 16 minutes ago.
I didn't know.
And then I'll start to plan, I'm 16 minutes out, like if I don't go into, I have to have an army cooking, within the last hour. I'll boost my spells, and then whatever barrack I need to finish a golem or a bunch of witches or, the hogs or whatever is going to be over an hour long.
Yeah.
I'll boost that one, and try and get everything to finish up within the last 2 minutes, because anything is going to be down in the last minute, I'll just gem it done real fast.
Right.
Because by then it's already, it's worth a couple gems then, even for my tight ass.
And I've been doing that with my main too. It's like I'm like trying to figure out the comp, and it's like you just want to go at a certain point.
Yeah.
And so you do that, then you just
So yeah, I'll
wait
just
till the
wait
last...
and I'll watch that little timer and I'll let it get down to 20 minutes left, or not 20 minutes left. 20 minutes ago that alarm went off. Or 24 minutes ago, that alarm went off. So then I'll make my exit from wherever I'm at, or I've even pulled over to the side of the road before, like I'm taking my daughter somewhere after a softball game, and something's happened, and it's like, oh wait, no, we're not going anywhere. Well, why
Eat
not?
your ice cream cone.
No, we can't go anywhere. Oh, you got a war attack? Yep, last minute. Hang on, just hang on. We'll be done here in just a couple minutes.
And she knows a lot about Clash.
I've got 3 of them, so yeah.
Okay.
My oldest daughter plays. My youngest daughter plays. Yep. So.
Do they make Daddy proud?
They do. They do. They make Daddy proud, and outside of Clash. So they're doing really well in school and softball. So that's good.
You're like, I want you to grow up to be a great Clasher.
Yeah, grow up and be a great Clasher. Way better than me. Dragons, lightning. Mm-hmm.
If you could, let me ask you this then. If you, I don't even know how I would even answer this. What could you even imagine Clash a year from now?
You're going to be able to see the person you're attacking and talk to them. I don't know.
TeamSpeak built into the game.
There you go. TeamSpeak built into the game.
I really want that for House of L.
Another 50 levels on your heroes. Something to get more money. I don't know.
Well, Nat and Coop and those guys, they were talking about how a year ago was when they changed the heroes from the 3-hour, the ridiculous amount of time that it took to recharge them.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, yeah, that's when we all started getting serious about heroes.
Mm-hmm.
When it wasn't just like, it's not even worth it.
Was that the same one where they stopped the tethering too? Or they started the tethering?
Was it?
No, that was probably after that. Because hogs were still in their heyday.
No, I think I think they were saying it was the bomb update too.
Really?
Yeah.
Then they tethered the heroes, and they did the bombs at the same time. So they bent you over twice and then added peanut butter. That's what happened.
That's awesome. Well, awesome, man. It's been fun to hang out again.
Yeah.
So go to classicgunspodcast.com. You can find contact info there. And thanks, Sass.
No problem.
Here again.
It's
another new attack strategy for Town Hall 8.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, man. We'll keep it clashy.
All right, keep it clashy.
escalate, beep, beep.